What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the GoToGuys. We'd like to have everybody back here with us. Coming off a great weekend. Jordan was in Nashville. I was in Congers rating black and white cookies. But a lot of stuff going on in the sports world, mostly centered around the NCAA tournament.
We got March Madness, things heating up, first two rounds complete. And I know we don't want to talk about only Michigan on the show, but I mean, how about the Wolverines?
Yeah, listen, I think we were talking about it earlier today. Uh, you always want more. You get a little bit greedy, but despite where Michigan was seeded to start the tournament, I think they cleared the first two hurdles. Now, for most of the teams, it's just going to get a lot tougher. The number one seeds are all still there. There's been no upsets at that level. Um, and until they get defeated, they're probably the favorites right now moving forward. I mean, we could talk about some of the surprising things. We could talk about the teams that played well, and the prospects for what's going to happen now as we move forward to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, anyone could be anyone at this stage. I think the lowest seed, or I guess like the highest number seed in terms of like single digits, double digits, is the 10 seed Arkansas. Um, they took down St. John's, and very impressive win. Calipari gets the job done, and now they don't even get to play a one seed; they get to play a three seed, and it's just very impressive. And they're definitely a force moving forward in the tournament. I would definitely keep an eye on them. Then you have the powerhouses, Florida with a monumental, huge win against UConn, the two-time defending champions. You got Duke, you got Auburn, who's playing Michigan, and then the last one seed Houston, who was pretty dominant overall against Gonzaga. They let up a little bit at the end, I think, as every team did. Usually when they go up by a lot, but I mean, wow, crazy tournament. Not a lot of upsets. All the one seeds are there. 3 2 seeds are there. Interesting. Half the teams left. So 8 of the 16 teams are SEC. 4 are Big Ten, and the other 4 are a combination of, I think, Big 12. It might just be Big 12. I mean, BYU, Houston, Texas Tech, and I'm missing one that is just not coming to mind,
But
but
Bud, just real
just
quick, when,
crazy.
when you say monumental win for Florida,
I think
I
in
mean,
terms of Florida I don't think has been in the Sweet 16 until 2017, and it's just they haven't been there for a while, and to take down the two-time defending
no,
champ
but that's
being
not.
down.
My comment is more about the fact that UConn clearly was not at the level it's been the prior 2 years, and
But
that's
it's still
reflected
a
in their
big win.
seeding. It's reflected in their seeding. I do think that UConn played very, very tough, which is characteristic of sort of their coach and his expectations. But I definitely thought that when Florida got going in the second half, even though they didn't win by a wide margin, that there were several plays where they had open looks at the basket with dunks, and it just seemed like they separated themselves enough to win that game. Like basically, UConn had to go in, they had to play extremely tough. They used up a lot of fouls. It was a grinded out type game, but basically, if UConn was going to win that game, they would have had to play absolutely perfect. They almost did. I mean, they missed some easy shots in the second half, but I definitely felt, especially in the second half, because I think Florida's been used to beating people so bad that, I think UConn's mentality is we're going to come out, we're going to smack these guys in the face. We're not going to run away with the game. We're going to play the game tight and just hope that we can sort of squeak it out at the end. But I think Florida's talent sort of won the day. I definitely think that it's what you call it. UConn showed the heart of a champion. I think it was an important win for Florida from the standpoint of moving forward, and I would expect that Florida probably their next one or two games they're going to win by a more comfortable margin because they are going
Yeah.
to be a better team for having experienced that type of a win against UConn. That's just my thought with that. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, they have to go up against Maryland, which is not. I know Maryland basically at the buzzer squeaked out a win against Colorado State, who, in my opinion, is underrated, obviously, as a 12 seed. They definitely held their own against Maryland. Florida Maryland should be a fantastic game. I think Florida ends up winning, but don't discount the Terps. I think I'm just going to go through some of the matchups. Duke, Arizona, that is going to be a very good game. I think Duke should win, but I think that's going to be a good game. Texas Tech, Arkansas, Auburn. I mean, all these games are just great on paper. BYU, Alabama. Didn't even touch. I don't think we touched on either of those two teams yet. That's going to be a crazy game. Just a lot of stuff to look forward to in terms of March Madness, and hopefully Michigan. I think we're destined to play MSU in the Elite Eight. I said it,
I don't know.
but
Remains to
I
be
guess we'll
seen. I
see.
mean, Auburn's a very good team, as we discussed earlier today. I think, was it Danny Wolf? Was he the one who was on
It's Trey
Yale last
Donaldson.
year?
Oh yes, Danny Wolf was on Yale when they beat
He was on
and then
Yale, and they upset Auburn. I think Yale was the 13th seed, and
yeah,
and Auburn was a number 4. But listen, it it's with NIL in basketball right now. You really can't look at a team from one year to the next. It's like, unless you have a smaller school that has some continuity and gets on a run like that team from New Jersey a couple years ago, it's like hired guns. I mean, most of these players who are on these top teams were on different teams last year. I don't know if you saw the press conference after the Maryland game. They asked the players about their loyalty to the
yeah,
coach, and the kid's answer was, well, he's the one who pays me. Until they get some structure in place around NIL, it's going to continue to be the Wild West. And don't forget, I mean, there was another ruling that was passed where these schools, they're going to have to share revenue generated by their athletic programs with all of their athletes. So it's just, listen, I get that people are loyal to the schools that they went to or their kids go to or they become a fan of, but it's very difficult year to year just to get a feel for what a team is going to be. I mean, and listen,
yeah,
it's no different than football. Look at Ohio State with the amount of money that they spent this past year to be the national champion. And listen, not to take anything away from Ohio State, the prior year when NIL was first in its infancy, you know, I'm sure JJ McCarthy got money, Blake Corum got money, probably not at the level of the Ohio State people because it was early, but that's what it is. I mean, that's what it is now in college sports.
yeah,
So I'm just trying to think of what else relates to the tournament. Obviously, St. John's is an example as well. Listen, they were a number 2 seed. They had a better year than they've had in like 3 decades. They won the Big East. They had the Big East Player of the Year, who apparently sort of disappeared and got benched at the end of the game on Saturday. But, they lost pretty handily to the team that beat them. I mean, that's sort of just the way it goes. And we'll see. I'm assuming Rick Pitino is going to be around for another year, but who knows? Who knows
yeah,
with his track record and stuff like that? Very captivating with him having play against Calipari with the history between those guys. But I mean, that's the way it goes. You
yeah.
know, it's funny because with March Madness taking so much prominence over the weekend, it almost makes everything else feel secondary. It's like I barely paid attention to any other sports this weekend. I mean, there were some signings in the NFL here and there, but other than that, was there any NBA games this weekend of note, or was just everybody was just focused on the NCAA tournament?
I think everyone just focused on that CAA tournament. I mean, I can't really think of anything. I just feel like it's towards the tail end of the season for both hockey and basketball. People are focusing on college basketball, best tournament of the year, and I think that's where everyone's focus was. Even though there's been no upsets, I just think everyone's just focused on the tournament.
No,
And
and I think Major League Baseball, I mean, I know they had the games overseas, but I think Major League
yeah,
Baseball
Thursday.
opens Thursday. And it's like, it's not even, certainly not even on my radar. I'm a Yankee fan. I have no idea. I know they've had some pitching injuries and stuff like that with Gill and Garrett Cole, but it's not even on my radar at the moment. And the funny thing is, I'm not even a huge NCAA fan. It's just I got into it this weekend because I was watching, so obviously Michigan and St. John's, and then the game yesterday with UConn and Florida. But it just all the other sports have sort of fallen by the wayside at this point.
Yep. I'm excited for baseball, though. I don't know about a lot of other people, but I'm excited.
Well, I think you're also in fantasy and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I liked watching it last year, and I just think baseball's a good sport. It's
Yeah, it's a
relaxing.
good sport. I feel, again, and I know Major League Baseball gets criticized, but I feel like they could be doing a lot more in order to promote their guys and make the league attractive. It's funny because I see things like the Savannah Bananas, for example, when you think about that and like what they've been able to do with like, I don't want to say a glorified minor league team whose sole goal is to entertain their fans.
Yeah.
And again, they're not playing 160 something games, like Major League Baseball, but they do go around to stadiums and they sell out. They've obviously hit on something with what they're doing,
Yeah.
you know.
Very, very different than regular baseball, but yes, I agree.
No, it is. But I think it comes down to the entertainment aspect. That's what people want. They want to be entertained. I think in Major League Baseball, like, you go to the games and people just want to see home runs. I mean, that's
Or
really what it
Shohei,
is. So
or
it's
both.
not
Yeah.
that they're going to start making revolutionary changes. And I know Major League Baseball, for the most part, is doing just fine. I mean, some of the teams suffer more than others, but
Yep.
again, content is king and entertainment is what keeps people coming back,
Agreed.
you know? So, so what else is going? I'm seeing on TV right now that Tiger Woods is dating, has a new girlfriend. So that's become like
Yeah.
news. Apparently, I think the woman was married to one of the Trump kids at one point. But it's sort of funny, Tiger posted it almost like he wanted to publicly announce it, but then said at the end, we're very private people and we'd appreciate privacy at this time. That about sums up the world we live in right now.
Yep. I don't really. I mean, WWE was on today. I mean, pretty repetitive from last week. John Cena, Cody Rhodes. I don't think we need to spend too much time on that.
Well, I didn't even
Um,
see it yet. I mean, I saw like the introduction, but I didn't watch any of the
yeah,
rest of it, so I
I
can't even
won't.
speak to it. I'll watch it
Yeah,
tonight at 8 o'clock.
I won't spoil anything. But yeah, give it a watch. And then yeah, I really there's not that much sports to talk about. I'm trying to think of like the football signings. I mean, nothing like crazy happened there. I think it's just the lead up to the Sweet 16 and March Madness.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I think that's
I
what it is
guess
this time of year.
I guess we could talk about our food reviews that we came out with, which were pretty fun, pretty cool. I went to Nashville, in case you didn't hear before, um, with some people at the University of Michigan, and I gotta say they do it crazy down there. I mean, everywhere you go is just live music, bars, light like neon light. Like it was like a fever dream. Like, it was just crazy. It's like I can't even like explain it. It's just live music everywhere. You don't know where to go. The food there, oh my god! On the one of the GoToGuys videos for food ratings, I rated the Hot Hattie B's sandwich, or chicken sandwich, also known as the sandwich, and like I almost like cried. Like it was so good. It was so good. The mac and cheese on the side. One thing I do have to say though, the waits at some of these places. I don't think I even told you the wait there was 45 minutes for
And you
food.
guys waited?
Yes, because it's that good.
Really? Was
Keep in
that
mind,
in Nashville or did you stop
yes.
before you got there?
No, this was in Nashville. And keep in mind, this was after like 8 hours, so we were pretty hungry and tired, but I don't know why we ended up waiting 45 minutes. Um, but dude, the food there, like everything was just awesome. Like, I can't even like put into words. Just live music, everything. Someone actually asked me where would I rather go between Vegas, California, and Nashville, and I didn't even know how to answer it.
But
Just
let
they're
me
all
ask you a
so
question,
different.
like how long could you stay in Nashville before you get tired of it? Like it's like
I
going to
mean,
Vegas, unless you're a huge
you could
gambler.
you could go there every night because every night's something new. There's so many bars. I think we counted there were probably 50 bachelorette parties happening there. They have buses going down the street with like the roof open and people just singing and dancing and drinking on the roofs. And then you also have the Predators stadium right in the middle of everything. And the Titans stadium right across the river that they have there. Everything's
Right.
right next to each other. It's insane.
Sounds good. Haven't been there
Uh,
yet. Haven't been able to check it out. But like I said, I was trying to understand a little bit about how it would differ. California obviously is a little bit different. It's tourism and stuff like that. I mean, Vegas
It's just
is
very
centered around
interesting.
gambling.
Yeah, but Morgan Wall, like for example, the Morgan Wallen bar just opened. It is 6 floors. Each floor has live music or a DJ, and then the rooftop. And they all have TVs. They all have sports on. They all have people singing, drinking. Like the bartenders were sweating like their tails off. It was just crazy. But I mean, I think I went to maybe 7 places. There's probably 150 different places that you could go to. And that's not even to mention the food that you could get there. There's ice cream. They have a bar inside of a Taco Bell there. It's ridiculous.
Right, right. But again, I think like anything else, it's probably after a certain period of time, um, it wears on you. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah,
people go
no,
there for
it
7 days,
definitely, yeah, I expect it to wear on you, but if you go to Tennessee, like Lipscomb is right on campus. They were in March Madness, they got eliminated, but Lipscomb is literally 2 blocks away from Broadway there. And if you're like an SEC fan, each bar had the SEC flags for every team, like Florida, Bama, Tennessee, Georgia, outside of their bars. You could just go in there and they probably just make tons of money anytime like an SEC school plays there. You have the Barstool Bar, you have food trucks. I didn't even mention, you know how much money they make from selling these cowboy hats and the boots and like the
no, I'm
belt buckles.
sure. It's
It's
well,
like
that's
two
what it
hundred
is there.
dollars for like boots and like it was pretty cool. Like I would never ever wear them just because I don't really prefer that like the boots and everything. But some of the cowboy hats are pretty cool.
Well,
It's
I
just
think a lot
insane.
of people when they go down there, like especially for bridal parties, bachelor parties, all that stuff, they do end up, getting the boots and the cowboy hats, and it's a thing. I mean, it's Nashville.
Yeah, it is. It's Nashville. Highlight of the trip though was there's a bar there called Kid Rocks, and
Wait,
we were
is
just
Kid Rock affiliated with it?
yeah, I think it's their bar,
Okay.
and we just go to the roof and we just packed the roof for the basketball game, and it was just a surreal feeling when we won against A&M. It was just awesome. We were like screaming, everyone was going crazy, and that was probably the highlight of the trip.
Awesome, man. Sounds like a good time.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, so like you said, I'm just trying to think of what else is going on that's of note.
Well, let's talk about some stuff coming up. I'll be back home for a live podcast show, basically meaning that both Howie and me, my old man, are together. That will be happening not this upcoming weekend, but the following weekend. I mean, we got a lot of traveling. I mean, I'm going to Southeast Asia in May. Don't worry, the podcast will still be happening, but I'm going to Southeast Asia. You got Fanatics. I mean, we could talk about Fanatics
Yeah,
Fest.
dude, that's in
And I,
June, man. That's in
I'm
June.
looking.
We got
I'm
a
looking
whole
ahead.
world
I'm looking
between
ahead.
now and then.
You're right.
I mean, I'm just saying we could talk about Fanatics Fest if you want. I
No,
mean,
we don't.
there's
We don't
still
have to.
a lot more to
It's
be
too. It's too far
revealed
out.
about that. I mean, as it gets closer, for sure.
I get.
You
I
can have the
guess.
NFL
Yeah.
draft. I mean, it'll be coming up. That's next
Yeah.
month too. But right now, it seems like it's an eternity away. In all honesty, but I'm sure it'll be here before we know it.
Yeah.
I mean, baseball preview. I mean, the usual
There's not.
suspects.
I mean, it's just Dodgers are the best. There's other teams that are like. It's just. It's crazy. The Dodgers are just. We talked about them last episode. It's just they're the team to beat. Um, And yeah, I mean, time will tell with them if they can hold up, but they're loaded from top to bottom. I think the people or the teams right behind them, you got like the Phillies, the Braves, the Mets, who are all in the same division. Then you got the Yankees and Red Sox, who are in the same division. Those are probably the next tier. Then you got teams like the Astros, who have been there before. It's just pretty repetitive in baseball. If you have one of those high payroll teams, you should be in the playoffs. Um, Unless the team obviously gets hot, like the Diamondbacks did a couple years ago, or the Rangers did a couple years ago. But as for baseball, I mean, anything could happen. It's 162 games. Look at the Mets last year. What were they? 0-4, like just absolute terror, like absolute garbage to start the year, and they were 2 games away from a World Series. Just
Yeah.
a lot of yeah,
No, it makes sense. I mean, that's sort of the way it goes. It seems like the rich get richer unless somebody just has some young guys and they get on a run.
yep. But other than that, I mean, that pretty much does it for baseball. I guess we could talk about it when it picks up. Basketball, Jokic has been out for a while. Anthony Davis comes back tonight. LeBron's back. So it looks like all these teams are starting to get a little bit healthier as the playoffs approach. A lot of great first round matchups that we spoke about last week. Looks like that are going to happen. I think Nuggets Warriors was one of them. You got like the Thunder playing the Timberwolves. The East is pretty much locked up in terms of seeding, barring like a 4 or 5 seed switch. But other than that, I think that pretty much does it for basketball. And then the Masters, I guess. No, I don't know. I'm just throwing out
Uh,
different sports, but
Dude, I can't even go there
yeah, no,
on
I
the
was kidding.
Masters.
But I guess we don't have to keep the audience here just rambling about nonsense. So I think we can do some quick hitters and then
Um,
maybe, wrap it up.
okay.
So some quick hitters. Let's see. I saw Aaron Rodgers looks like 99% done deal with the Steelers.
I'll
So I
believe
think
it when
it's
I see it.
I'll believe
I'll
it when I
believe it
see
when I
it.
see it.
But
It just
regardless,
doesn't seem. I feel like
yes.
Aaron is worn out his welcome, in all honesty. But I think the Steelers backed themselves into a corner. I don't think they expected to lose Justin Fields, and the Jets swooped in and grabbed him. Not that I'm saying like Justin Fields is the be all end all, but for a team like the Jets that's trying to sort of reposition themselves, maybe draft a quarterback this year or next year, I definitely think Justin will give them a chance to compete, is
Yeah.
what I would say. So
And
I think
I
it's a
think
nice signing from that perspective.
and I think even if Aaron Rodgers doesn't go, I think the Steelers, they got DK, they got a strong defense. I think they're in a great spot to definitely compete. They're in a brutal division, but
They,
with the
they need a
Ravens,
QB.
yeah, they need a QB. Um, but yeah, it's supposed to be a quick hitter. So that's it. March Madness, like we discussed, great matchups coming up. A lot of things to look forward to in terms of college basketball. And you got things like the Masters starting back up. You got baseball starting up. Football draft, I think, is a month from today on the dot. So, interesting fact: there have been zero trades in terms of draft picks up to this point, which is actually pretty surprising in terms of
No,
the NFL draft.
I don't think there's typically much.
I think there's at least one, but understandable. Oh, I have a thing we can talk about: the Celtics selling. Bill Chisholm purchased the Celtics for $6.1 billion. I think that is what the largest purchase ever by someone.
Well, the
And
largest purchase of an NBA
yeah,
team.
yeah,
I'm
that's what I
not
mean. That's what
sure.
I mean.
It might be, it honestly, it might be the largest purchase of any sports team, but certainly for an NBA team, that's a huge price. But that's what it's been the last couple of years with sports. I mean, these values have been crazy. A number of the leagues have passed, rules which allow teams to take on private equity. In the NFL, I think it's 10% or less. In the NBA, the restrictions are different. But listen, I don't want to say it's irrational exuberance, but you have wealthy people. I know there are some tax advantages that come with buying into these teams. But for the people who are playing this game, they have enough money, and it's a trophy representation for them to be able to say that they own these teams. But it's also to justify some of this pricing. That's why you see teams building new arenas. You see people maxing out their sponsorships. You see teams that create new upscale areas in their arenas and their stadiums where they can charge extra money. Um, they follow the model that was started by the Red Sox and the Atlanta Braves, where it's not just about the team, it's about everything around the stadium, because you don't have to share that money with the league. So if you have a piece of property around a stadium, if you put up a training facility, if you put up retail space, office buildings, commercial space, a theater of some type, it's just all about ways to maximize value. And that's
Yeah.
what people are looking to do. The guy who bought the Celtics, it's a name that I haven't heard. I'm very into sports. I follow sports very closely, but obviously an extremely wealthy guy to come out of nowhere and buy that team, under the
Yep.
radar.
Agreed.
It's impressive. And I don't think the Celtics coming off of two NBA finals in a row, one championship, when you add up the collective value of the contracts that they've committed to their players, you know, if you're interested in profitability, you really got to look at ways to maximize the profitability when you have that much money invested in a team. But like I said, for this guy Chisholm, for him, there could be other reasons as to why he wanted to buy a team other than he's looking to be profitable, in all honesty. Because nowadays, it's just not necessarily about that.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
So,
And
anyway,
I think that pretty much does it. I feel
I
like it
think
hasn't
so.
been that action packed coming off a weekend just filled with March Madness. So maybe this week we'll get some crazy, crazy things happening in the sports world or just in general. But I think it's a good place to end off.
Makes sense. We appreciate everybody joining us. Again, follow us on Instagram, the GoToGuys Sports. Keep an eye out for our food reviews. We're doing all different stuff. Not necessarily going to be every day, but we're just trying to create entertaining content for people who choose to take a look. And, with that said, tune in next time for another episode of The
The
Go-To
go to
Guys.
guys. Thank you, everybody.